Music video or short film? That distinction is increasingly blurred these days, as we'll see later on. But first, hi and welcome to Kino from Berlin. We start off this month's show with a documentary about a unique approach to dealing with juvenile offenders. The film To Fight For shows how 5 young men convicted of violent crimes are given the choice between going to prison or taking up boxing.
Ich wohne bei meinen Eltern, aber trotzdem gehöre ich zu der Straße. Dazu gehören Messerstechereien, Schlägereien, Leute abziehen, abgezogen werden, klauen. Die Straße ist halt für die Jugendlichen ein bisschen was anderes als für die Erwachsenen. Für die Erwachsenen ist die Straße einfach die Straße, wo du zu deinem nächsten Ziel ankommst. Für uns gibt es aber kein Ziel.
At the Work and Box Company, a social project based near Munich, youngsters like Eftal are given one last chance. Through a year of hard work and boxing, it's hoped they'll break with a life of crime. Many, like Marco, have faced jail terms. Working with them takes patience.
Du bist wohl nicht ganz knusprig. Du gehst in den Bau, wenn du nicht mitmachst. Ich will dich nicht verlieren. Weder in den Knast noch sonst wohin. Ich will, dass du deinen Mann stehst im Leben. Und das bist du auch.
Es hat was damit zu tun, dass ich mein Gegenüber nicht.
I have to look at each youngster as they are, not on the surface, but in their hearts. And I take them very seriously, in almost a loving way.
Sehr herzlich, fast schon liebevoll, ernst nehmen.
I believe there are chances in life. And I have such a belief in the youngsters I work with that I don't give them any alternative but to share my belief.
Anders zu denken und anders zu glauben. Gut, ich rufe jetzt den Richter an und sage einfach, dass du Scheiße baust. Und das willst du?
Mach's doch, Mann. Was fragst du mich, Mann?
Ob du das willst, hat er gefragt. Ich will, dass es bei dir ankommt. Es kommt bei dir nicht an.
Das interessiert mich. Er fragt dich, ob du's machst.
Most of the young men have violent pasts or have been victims of violence. The Work and Box team want them to open up, as only then will they be able to change. The film captures these difficult moments.
Ich weiß nur, ganz ehrlich, ich kann nur so viel sagen und ich scheiße auch auf den Rest. Ich komme einfach nicht mehr klar mit der ganzen Situation und ich weiß, ich bin kurz vorm Ausflippen, das war's.
To Fight For shows how tough the road back into normal society can be. Argentinian director and cameraman Gerardo Milstein filmed the group for a year, amassing 300 hours of footage.
If you really spend time with these men, you'll find they're budding in unexpected ways. So you give them contact and attention and love, and they blossom. I am looking for the honesty of winning and the honesty of losing. I'm interested in these young men who showed themselves as they really are, or as I was able to see them.
The film builds a particularly close relationship with 19-year-old Eftal. After nearly killing someone, he faces up to his aggression and seizes the opportunity that Work and Box offers. It's unusual for a documentary about violent youngsters to make its way into German cinemas. But at the premiere, the authenticity of To Fight For struck a chord. For Eftal, it was a strange experience.
It's strange to watch the film because I'm not acting in it. That's how it really is. I'm watching myself as I was 3 years ago, and that's embarrassing. But I hope we can reach people, young people, and so I'm good with it.
To Fight For shows how Eftal, Marco and the rest are meant to get used to working. The goal is for them to find an apprenticeship, as well as a new attitude towards themselves. The program's success rate is 80%.
Jeder bringt die gleiche Möglichkeit mit.
Everyone has the same potential. It's more about how ready they are to open up If they do, like Eftal, then I can get more from them. But if they clam up, like Marco, then the door is shut.
Eftal is a success story. He manages to get qualifications and has a good chance at an apprenticeship. Just one of the touching moments in To Fight For.
Devid Striesow is one of the busiest actors in German film and theatre. And though he's won some major awards, the workaholic has yet to become a household name. But maybe that's because this very versatile and convincing actor has managed to avoid being pinned down to just one type of character.
Darf ich?
Devid Striesow, a man who seems to morph into his roles. Always coming up with something new and always something different. We meet him on the set of a TV drama, a tragicomedy about love, loss, and a second shot at life. Striesow's happy to play the clown, but he's not generally known for giving interviews. He's made an exception for us. He says the key to getting into character is to change the way you think.
Thinking also changes your body. You can adopt certain traits, give your character a tic or a strange habit. They're external things, but if the script allows, it's thinking different that makes those changes happen.
Moscow.
In playtime, Striesow is a social climber, constantly swapping identities. The role landed him a Best Actor nomination at the German Film Awards.
Ich bin die Fritzi. Und wie heißt du?
Mein Name ist Prinz. Klaus Hensley.
Dr. Rotenstein.
Müller. Dr. von Stein. Von Weizsäcker.
Striesow thrives on stress, working on up to 13 film productions a year.
I love the mobility of my career. I really enjoy being somewhere else and having other influences. I like to try theater in other cities and then head back home again. But what I really like about film, especially at the moment, is that a lot happens in fast motion. I feel more at home when things are happening rapidly. It's really fun then.
His breakthrough came playing a cynical SS officer in the Oscar-winning The Counterfeiters. It's a drama about a group of men forced to print fake Allied money in a Nazi concentration camp.
Wisst ihr, wir wollen nicht irgendeinem Warenhauskassier ein paar Scheinchen unterschummeln. Damit soll die englische Wirtschaft überschwemmt und zerstört werden.
Die perfektesten Blüten aller Zeiten.
Erst das Pfund und dann der Dollar. Leute, Maschinen, Material, was sie brauchen. Wissen Sie, Sorowitsch, es gibt Möglichkeiten, hier zu überleben. Ich kann nicht für alle garantieren, aber bei Ihnen.
In the 2003 production Distant Lights, Striesow plays a mattress seller resorting to desperate measures to avert bankruptcy following German reunification.
Und hier ist Kreide. Da macht ihr immer, wenn ihr mit einer Straße durch seid, einfach auf dem Bürgersteig ein Kreuz, damit ich das nachverfolgen kann. So. Haben Sie gut geschlafen und los.
Haben Sie denn auch eine gute Matratze? Wenn man den Tag gut ausgeschlafen anfängt, ist das die halbe Miete.
Wollen Sie eine Karte haben?
Da gibt's kein Geheimnis.
There's no secret. It's more than training, though. You don't just become an actor the minute you begin training. It's a longer process than that. You've had 36 years of training, people watching. It's the only thing you need. And you store that away and draw on it later.
In the award-winning Yella, Striesow and Nina Haas co-star as a hard-nosed couple in the insolvency business.
Ich werfe eine kleine Pause. Auf Wichten?
The two first met at the same acting school in Berlin. Devid Striesow originally wanted to be a goldsmith and had an apprenticeship, but then came the collapse of East Germany.
When the Berlin Wall fell, the company I was going to work for went bust, and I had to think about a new approach. Because I originally have a background in music, I looked to acting. Luckily, it worked out. It might easily not have.
Striesow is a perfectionist. He doesn't relax until everything's 100%. Now, he can pick and choose his roles.
There are very few people who really have a lot to do. Basically, it's a very unpredictable market. I put a lot of energy into it. I worked very hard, and in retrospect, it was more than just luck.
Maybe not luck, but talent, which Devid Striesow does have, even if he's modest about his own achievements. He's simply a master of understatement.
You don't need any special talent to win this DVD, just a bit of luck. This month we are giving away the Oscar-winning film The Counterfeiters, featuring Devid Striesow. So tell us what you think of Kino, and it could be yours. Here's our email address: kino@dw-world.de. Today our shortcuts include a bit of Bollywood in Switzerland and a bit of Hollywood in Germany.
Hollywood director Roland Emmerich is in his element. The scene he's currently shooting takes place in the world of 16th century English theatre. An unusual surrounding for a man who's made his name with action blockbusters like Independence Day. But Emmerich says big-budget special effects aren't essential for him.
I always tell everyone, it makes no difference to me whether I'm filming something like this or something like Independence Day. It's always the storytelling that takes priority, and the actors.
Mother and daughter Vanessa Redgrave and Jolie Richardson star in this literary conspiracy thriller that hinges on whether William Shakespeare really wrote the classics of English literature attributed to him, and on the theory that in reality it was a nobleman who penned Shakespeare's works. Roland Emmerich hasn't worked in Germany for 18 years, but the Swabian-born filmmaker has now returned to film anonymous. Shooting is taking place in Potsdam-Babelsberg.
It's a kind of homecoming for me. I'm very happy. I love it here because of the film history. When you come to Germany, you know that people like Fritz Lang or Murnau filmed in Babelsberg, for example. Filmmakers who are the heroes of my career.
And being made on a relatively modest budget of $30 million doesn't mean Anonymous is going straight to DVD. Emmerich has managed to use the technical effects he's so well known for to make a thriller with a difference.
Meet Vincent.
Ey, ich habe einen Clown im Kopf, der mir ständig zwischen die Synapsen scheißt, der mich immer zwingt, genau das zu machen, was ich gerade am wenigsten gebrauchen kann.
Vincent suffers from the neurological disorder Tourette syndrome and has been sent to a clinic by his father. There he meets the obsessive-compulsive Alex and the anorexic Marie.
Du hast zugenommen, siehst irgendwie so fett aus.
Das da drüben ist aus.
Entschuldigung.
Wie bitte?
But Vincent wants to travel.
Ans Meer. Das ist ja gar nicht euer Auto.
A comedy about psychiatric illness? It could have gone horribly wrong, but the road movie maintains a delicate balance between slapstick and sensitivity.
Was ist eigentlich in deiner Dose?
Meine Mutter.
Florian David Fitz doesn't only play Vincent, he wrote the screenplay too. The film is not about where Vincent's going. It's about his turbulent journey.
Soll ich dir was sagen? Deine Mutter hat sich ihre letzte Reise bestimmt auch ein bisschen anders vorgestellt, als in so einer beschissenen Bonbondose. Oh!
Vincent!
Oh!
Each of the three protagonists is battling for something different. Vincent wants freedom, Alex seeks acknowledgement, and Marie's battle is with life and death. There's no salvation at the end of the film, but everything has changed. Vincent Wants to See, a surprisingly uplifting film about a downbeat subject.
With their terribly traditional restaurant, Marcus and Sonia have settled into the cozy world of the Swiss mountains. Life is threatening to become mundane.
Ich möchte dir, liebe Mutter, deine Schwiegertochter präsentieren.
Nein!
Until one day an Indian film crew arrives in the mountains and turns everything upside down.
Great! Superb! We need more tears.
More tears?
Yes!
I'm hungry. I'm dying.
We can't find the cook.
What?
Yes. Disappeared.
The colourful Bollywood team forces everyone to rethink their lives.
Ma'am, you marry me, I will cook for you.
It's love at first bite in Oliver Paulus's film Tandoori Love. With his culinary genius, it's not long before Raja seduces Sonia and the moviegoer too.
Keep your dirty hands off my cook, you bloody blonde bimbo!
Raja liberates himself from his film diva and Sonia rebels against the eccentric world of her Swiss village.
Thank you, my gentleman.
Tandoori Love is a visual feast. Let yourself be enchanted and you'll love this German-Swiss Bollywood fairy tale.
Ich weiß jetzt auch nicht, was ich sagen soll.
Oh, my queen, my Rani, try a little bit of love. Forget the cheese and the honey, try a little bit of love.
For the past few years, the Oberhausen Short Film Festival has featured the latest trends in music videos. What started as a marketing tool for record companies has long since become an art form of its own, providing directors with a unique opportunity for experimentation. And the internet is the perfect global vehicle for music videos, which rack up impressive hit counts. Now the Oberhausen Short Film Festival even awards its own prize for the best German music video.
A man wants a drink from a vending machine. But the machine is having none of it and turns into a jukebox, complete with light show.
61, 80, 33, 98, 87, 49, 89, 48, 48, 20, 45, 86, 83, 43, 65, 63, 81, 17, 72, 03, 09.
And this video is not just eye candy. It can also be read as a critique of power and powerlessness in our computer-driven world. At the Oberhausen Short Film Festival, this video is one of the audience favorites. Music critic Erich Pfeil is on the jury of the festival's music video competition. He says the video has matured far beyond its beginnings as mere advertising for the music.
At some point, a culture arose where people said this is a separate universe, like music or cinema, where you can explain the world in little pieces.
One technique that has only recently found its way into the form is found footage. For a track by Malakoff Kowalski, 1970s cult director Klaus Lemke re-edited footage from two of his old films.
The things we show here are often independently produced by filmmakers who are also musicians or who work straight from home with found footage. Or they're small groups turning out handmade films that cost time, but maybe not money.
Bit by Bit is a case in point. As the title suggests, a living room is gradually transformed into a ruin in 1,400 still images. The video is made by two photography students. They offer a nice spin on the old stop-motion technique.
Bit by bit, step by step, way by way.
We were originally scheduled to shoot for 2.5 weeks, but it took all summer. We spent 3 months carrying objects around, emptying beer bottles to put them on the set.
In the 1980s and 90s, avant-garde videos were the preserve of channels like MTV. Many visual ideas were later picked up on by cinema. Today's videos don't have that trailblazer role. It seems technical wizardry is no longer so important. That's not to say videos don't hold their surprises. Packed audiences in Oberhausen were riveted by this offering from the band OK Go.
This band has a reputation for making incredible videos, better than the music even. The videos have attracted so much attention to the band, proving that this medium still has that power. It benefits the band that people think they're weirdos who come up with crazy ideas, or know such great directors, so you have to keep an eye on them.
But it was this video that won first prize in the competition. An exercise in surrealism, proving music videos do fit in at a film festival.
You're old enough to know the makings of a man. Listen to me, baby, it's time to settle down. Am I asking too much from you to stick around?
Musician Felix Kubin plays the lead in the video, but not any instruments. The so-called performance video is now a thing of the past.
I'm glad that we don't have guys with guitars swaggering on mountaintops like early U2. I'm glad to see the back of that.
The video has become an art form in its own right, beyond pictures set to music. They may not have the influence on film culture that they once did, but for musicians, videos have increased in importance as visual calling cards.
The German Film Awards were held last month, and as expected, the big winner was Michael Haneke's The White Ribbon, with a total of 10 Lolas. But there was also a big surprise that night.
An elated Feo Eladag, who won a Lola for her directorial debut When We Leave. Sibel Kekili took the Best Actress award. In this powerful drama, Kekili plays a young Turkish woman in Germany who breaks away from the strict Muslim influence of her family, an emotive subject in Germany where honor killings have made headlines. Austrian filmmaker Michael Haneke was the night's big winner. His ethereal black and white drama about a small rural community on the cusp of the First World War won awards in 10 categories.
Denkst du, ich würde meine künftige Frau in Schande bringen wollen?
The film's winning streak began a year ago when it won the Golden Palm in Cannes for the best film. And what are this year's big hopes? A somewhat darker than usual Robin Hood opens the festival. Dark it may be, but it's also opulent Hollywood spectacle, courtesy of Ridley Scott. In all, 19 films from 15 countries are competing for this year's Golden Palm. Oliver Stone's Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, is screening out of competition. Michael Douglas reprises his 1987 role as financial wizard Gordon Gekko, with the US now facing the current global economic crisis. There are no German directors this year in the competition, but the festival is paying tribute to Volker Schlöndorff, who won the Golden Palm in 1979 for The Tin Drum. Schlöndorff is there to present the director's cut. And it's a second time in Cannes for Christoph Hochhäusler, who is showing his new film The City Below, about the Frankfurt financial world. Cannes 2010, the best films, the biggest directors, all at the world's most important film festival.
Next month we'll show you more fancy yachts, beautiful women and great films when we report on the German productions at Cannes. Until then, see you at the movies.